Good evening and welcome here to Turner Stadium here on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's Crossroads League quarterfinal men's soccer matchup between the 5-seed Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars and the 4-seed Taylor University Trojans. Rick Johnston here with you tonight as the Trojans and Cougars match up for the second time in a week's time here on Halloween night. MVNU and Taylor tied at 2-2 in double overtime last week. And remember, all 4 goals a week ago were scored in the first 10 minutes of that contest a week ago. Jeremiah Rader had both tallies for the Trojans. He had the equalizing tally 15 seconds after Mount Vernon Nazarene took a 1-0 lead on Rene Diaz's opening tally. Kasperick would tie the game at 2 after Rader had a PK, which gave Taylor a brief 2-1 advantage. New starter in goal than what we had a week ago for MVNU, Joshua Dunn, their 6'1 freshman keeper from Scotland, who had been their starter for the majority of the season. He is back in there after a week off last Wednesday. Brady Thompson was his backup. He did well, made 3 stops in 110 minutes as Whelan comes crashing in on Dunn here. Play to the near side, Whelan trying to get to it, and it's cleared away up the near side of the field, just over the head of Rene Diaz. Taylor in the white uniforms and white shorts with white socks. Purple stripes on the front and back of those uniforms. Purple numbers and the purple Trojan head on the left shoulder. MVNU in those dark blue unis with the big green numbers on the back that reflect in the lights overhead. And they have the dark blue shorts with the dark blue socks. A pass from Diaz up to Kasperick on the near side. And they lay it on back here to Orecchio. The rightful one curling into the box. Foreheaded up to the air by Juan Alberghetti of Taylor. Winner gets the winner of Spring Arbor and the 8-seed Marion. That would be Saturday. And whatever higher seed. Big shout out to the Taylor women's soccer team. They defeated Mount Vernon Nazarene on the road earlier this afternoon. A 1-0 win on Bailey Zare's game-winning tally. Now the Trojans they will take on Spring Arbor on Saturday. So they're on the bus ride back. They're watching. Ladies, great job. Congratulations. Well done. Looks rainy there. Headed to the lakes. They didn't have any sandbags on the back of those goals over at the Mount Vernon High School. But they got some concrete blocks, held those goals down, and I'm sure they're enjoying being in the warm bus on the way back to the Upland campus. Here's Whelan in the far corner. He'll go cheeky and play the ball between the defender's legs, but he cannot carry it on forward, and that's popped into the air and played away by Samuel Dimas. To the defensive half comes MVNU, and the pass to the near sideline and Orecchio. Again, we'll do our best to identify names and numbers tonight with those small numbers on the front of the jerseys. Helps us when the players turn their backs to us, just like Roldan's doing right here as he has the ball in the middle of the field. Long pass near side to Orecchio. James McBride comes from behind and applies pressure. Trying to find Kasperick in the middle. It slides on through after the long pass from Drost. Or Drost, excuse me. One lineup note to make you aware of tonight. Taylor without Alex Gallup. He picked up the red card against Mount Vernon Nazarene last week, so he is out of tonight's contest. He's down there on the end of the Taylor bench cheering on his mates. Gilliam applies pressure on the far side. This one skied into the air towards the bleachers across from us, which are filled with the Taylor students like they normally are, and since it is Halloween, they have come in costume tonight. From our vantage point, I see a young man dressed as a banana, a couple doctors, and some guys in some hats. Whelan in the middle, dribbling forward. Long pass near side to James McBride. He lets it slip on through. He'll accelerate to the end line, near side. McBride will turn over that right shoulder and come up the near sideline, lays it on back to the tri-captain Andrew Johnson. He'll dance around Diaz, centering to the far side of the box. Over Rader's head, Gilliam tried to throw his body on it, and it went off of his back as he went tumbling down to the turf. So Rodman in there. Noah Rodman, the transfer from Olivet Nazarene, the sophomore from Peoria, Illinois, and Peoria Christian High School, makes his first start here at TU. And he's the guy the coaching staff is really excited about. Actually played baseball at Olivet Nazarene last year, but did not play in any games. There was some paperwork that had to get cleared and sent through the NAIA office to figure out his eligibility early in the season, but he's good to go now, and he gets to start at the center back spot opposite of Charbel Salaka, replacing Gallup, who again is out tonight after earning that red card last week. Ball rolls to the far side to Barra Una. Right sideline looking to the middle, centers of the right-footed ball. Kasperic trying to knock it down, still loose. That shot on is blocked by Salako. It was Kasperic right there in the middle of the box. And the flag is in the air, offside against MVNU, and Taylor has the goal kick after a dangerous opportunity there for the visitors. Williams comes in, 6-5-3 his overall record, 4 shutouts. 64 saves, a save percentage of 78%, and a goals against average of 1.21. His counterpart Dunn in the goal for Mount Vernon Nazarene, a goals against average of 0.9, 68 saves, a save percentage of 83%. He has 5 shutouts and an 8-4-3 overall record. Pass slips on through, then sent away momentarily by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Little pop pass forward up the right side near midfield, and carrying forward is MVNU. Mount, right sideline to Barauna. Hand fighting going on against the Taylor with the Taylor defenders, and Gilliam takes the pass away. So try to clear it up that far sideline. MVNU deflects it out of bounds, and it'll go back to Taylor on a throw-in far sideline. A throw into Gilliam. Goes into some trouble now, comes out of the scrum. Trying to work it on through to Wieland, and now MVNU will counter and control here in the defensive half. Orecchio with McBride. This is James McBride marking him. And now they'll send it forward once again. A much warmer night than what we had last Wednesday. Temperature, even though it's been raining most of the day, it's been in the low 60s, and we're in the low 60s, high 50s right now. Pass all the way to the far side. Maloney underneath, heads it back up the far side of the field, and there's Gilliam trying to get away from 2 Mount Vernon Nazarene defenders. Gilliam shoves his man from behind and will get called for the foul. First foul on either side tonight. And Owen Hardy and Clay Vanderkolk, the 2 freshmen, start to warm up down below us. 7 minutes into half number 1, no score, just 1 shot. That was by MVNU inside the box. That was blocked by Charbel Salako. So the free kick from the far side of the field for MVNU. Trying to see the man who stands over it. Either way, he'll play it in with the left foot to the far side post. Headed away by Johnson, still near the top of the box, sent back into the penalty area, and Rodman will sky it out of there. Demas with those gloves on his hands will send it back, and then it's sent back to where it came from. Charbel Salako backpedaling and heading it towards the near sideline. Lynn hops into the air, knocks it down. He'll pass it forward into space, trying to find Wieland. It's dumped in. Now Rader will hit the accelerator, trying to beat Mount to it. And then Demas will play back into the penalty area with Dunn, the keeper for MVNU. Lynn leaps, heads it straight down. Wieland trying to knock it down with his right boot. And squirts around and finds the feet of Peter Lynn. Triangle passing. Johnson to McBride. Dancing away from pressure, then back to Andrew Johnson, the senior from Pennsylvania. Crossfield pass, left side of the field. This is Noah Rodman. Taylor attacking the goal to our right, still looking for that first shot here on the evening. And Mount Vernon Nazarene attacks the goal to our left. Long pass, trying to find McBride with the Trojans. Kunana, now Demas will send it back into the area with Dunn, who gets it right away from a sliding Cole Gilliam. Rivas, right sideline. And up the ball goes across midfield to Kasperic. Taylor double teams him. Alberghetti pokes it away with help from Rodman. And then Juan will send it all the way back to the keeper, Luke Williams. His pass off target, it goes out and back to MVNU. A beautiful evening for soccer here in Upland, Indiana. And then MVNU throws it out of play, and Taylor will throw it in with Maloney. Just a picture-perfect evening here at Turner Stadium. We wish you were with us, but we thank you for tuning in here as well. Mount in the middle. Kasperic dumps it on back, and MVNU will create from the right side. Alberghetti pokes it away momentarily. And now Demas will set things up 10 yards inside midfield. To Orecchio near sideline with McBride shading him. And then Demas will send it to the far sideline and Rivas. Demas near side of the field. Wieland marking him as MVNU content to play 20 yards inside midfield in their defensive half as they attack from right to left. Long left-footed pass. They try to find Diaz. Off target as Johnson has it for Taylor. Then he'll left foot one back up near midfield. Long play, Orecchio tapped it away from Lynn. Johnson trying to give it back to Lynn, and Orecchio steps in front. He wants a long-range shot that Williams will watch sail curling out of play to our left, to the outside the near side post. Shot from Orecchio, his first, second one of the night for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Just past 10 minutes gone here in half number 1. So we sit in the 11th minute right now. And a handball called against whom? MVNU. Trying to see who it was. Looks like it might be against Drost. And Alberghetti, the Argentinian, will take this free kick right in the middle of the field, 5 yards inside the midfield stripe. He'll jog away, and he'll let Jeremiah Rader of Avon, Indiana, one of the 3 tri-captains for Taylor, along with Johnson and Luke Williams, will take the free kick, a yard and a few doll hairs inside midfield. A low one that rises. This one sails across the end line with Lynn giving chase. By this point last week, we'd already had 4 goals scored. We are scoreless here, just over 11 minutes in. And Dunn will send it back into play. Lynn tried to get his head on it, sent back to the near sideline and out. As Diaz and Johnson went chasing after it, Johnson will throw it in for Taylor. McBride trying to heel it forward, wanting to get it to Whelan. It's back into the air. Lynn will chest it down to the near sideline. He'll be the first one on it. Lynn looking to his left. Will now maneuver that way, now circles back. Passes it off of Diaz, gets it back. He cannot save it as he slips on the artificial surface down below us. As we mentioned, it rained all day. No rain right now and no rain for the rest of the forecast. It's going to just rain all day tomorrow. This will be kind of a miserable fall day tomorrow, rain in the 40s. So if we're going to class, bring your umbrella. We're going to work, bring your umbrella. Or you can do like I do and just run really fast from your car and try to get inside as quick as possible. Long pass all the way deep. Maloney backpedaling, and he heads it up towards midfield. MVNU holds it in. Right side of the field, they want to find Kasperic. They cannot. Roldan was the closest one to that one. And we saw countless times last Wednesday that MVNU played those long balls to the fleet-footed Kasperic, the junior from Germany. And a foul whistled here against MVNU. Their first one is McBride got tied up trying to move forward, and Rader played it too quickly. This ball's got to move back even closer to midfield. And the big fella Salaka will line over this one. This one 4 yards inside midfield. He's ready. Johnson waving his hand into the air with no one marking him. Still trying to wave Salako forward. He'll try to play it to him. Johnson tracking, headed into the air, and this one will sail over the end line and be a goal kick here for MVNU. Johnson did everything to get Salako's attention except yelling his name out. And almost was able to get the ball to him, but a defender slipped out and was able to make life slightly difficult for 8 in white. Dunn was the Crossroads League Defensive Player of the Week last week, heading into the last week of the regular season. Had 7 saves against Huntington and 11 against Goshen his last 2 times out. Again, he did not play with these 2 teams men on this field a week ago. Alberghetti tied up with Kasperic, and they get Juan for the foul as he spun Kasperic around. Second foul against TU. Quick restart. And then Alberghetti called for a foul again as he gets on the back heel of Brandon Mount of MVNU. Third one against Taylor. And Alberghetti gets an explanation, now backpedals. Jeremiah Rader standing right in front of where this free kick will come with Dimas. Until our head official has him back away, along with Josiah Wieland. As we approach 15 minutes in here to half one. No score between Taylor and MVNU Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinal. It'll be Roldan to play to the far side, and here comes a bullet in from MVNU. Lynn got his right foot on it, and then almost caking it in stride is McBride. A big first touch that carries over 10 yards, and then the pass stolen by Josiah Whelan. Whelan up the field, McBride trying to sprint. Rivas will beat him to it. And now Rivas will race up the near sideline before hitting on the brakes and dealing off to Orecchio. Lynn right there on his hip pocket. And then McBride will block this pass with the side of his head, and he'll sail out of bounds on the big right foot from Rivas. Throwing it in, Orecchio. Headed down by Johnson, and now Rader can turn with plenty of space. Still carrying through the middle. Rader will dump it far sideline to Maloney, who will fill. Now Maloney moving to the middle with his right. Passing in behind everyone from TU. And MVNU knocks it away, and then they'll drive it forward again before Johnson cuts in front. Gets a little backspin on the ball, then he'll send it in. Rader onside, a little foot touch away, and then he just was moving in on the goal, and then the flag was finally thrown in the air, and the whistle was blown to stop play. An offside against Jeremiah Rader as he went sprinting back in. The flag was in the air. We couldn't see it from our vantage point up here. Then that whistle came in super, super late. And it looked like Rader had a great opportunity to go one-on-one with Dunn, the keeper, instead. A free kick upcoming from Gerardo Rivas of MVNU. Rivas takes it and drives it. Johnson out jumps Diaz, and Taylor has it back across midfield. Pass too far away from Rader from McBride. A tackle attempt from Rader. And then a back heel kick from Gilliam gets it to Rader. Left side of the field, here comes the tri-captain. Left-footed shot, partially blocked on its way there and scooped up in the goal box, I should say, by Joshua Dunn. First shot of the night for TU. And we remain scoreless here, almost 28 minutes remaining in half one. 2 shots for the visitors from Ohio, Mount Vernon Nazarene, and 1 for the 4th-seeded Trojans here in this Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinal. Chesting it back down, MVNU right side. Their pass intercepted by Rodman as again they try a pass of close to 30 yards, wanting to connect on a long-range pass with the dynamic Tim Kasparek. He had 8 shots in that game against TU last Wednesday here on this field on a much, much colder night. Very few players in long sleeves tonight. Rodman the only one out there, and Whelan with long sleeves for TU. Hardy down below us with some sleeves on. Only a couple players rocking the gloves. Lynn gets through a tackle near midfield and slips it on to Rader, then back to Lynn. He's got to accelerate to get it, then plays it on back across midfield, where Rodman will dump it across the midfield stripe, left sideline to Maloney. He fakes a pass and then maneuvers with it to the middle. He'll cross-field it and change the point of attack to the near sideline and Johnson. Up to Whelan. Back to the middle this pass goes. Right on the top of the Trojan head in the center circle with Alberghetti. Spins over that left shoulder. And we'll play it on back to Sulaco on the defensive half. Andrew Johnson right in midfield. Fakes going up the near sideline. He'll dance back to the middle. Dumping it into Sulaco, who smashes it forward. A little cheeky heel click there from Whelan. McBride pushed from behind. And then Andrew Johnson was shoved from behind by Diaz, and he collides with the foot of McBride. We will take a break here on the Trojan Sports Network as they look at Andrew Johnson down below us. A long pass intended for Kasparek, and Williams will snatch it inside the penalty area. So Andrew Johnson back out there after being shoved from behind by Diaz, and his head colliding with his teammate McBride. Third foul against MVNU. The Trojans trying to find Whelan on the left side of the penalty area. And then just before Whelan could get onto it and do something dangerous with it, Dunn poked it away. A quick throw in, but a sub will come in for Taylor. It will be the freshman Owen Hardy. And Hardy replaces Cole Gilliam. Whelan trying to turn into the middle of the field, taken away, and here comes MVNU up the right sideline. Stopping and starting, this looks like it was not Kasperick, but called for the foul is Drost. Fourth foul against Mount Vernon Nazarene here in the opening half, and a long pass intended for Rader almost got taken away, and Rader fights back and is able to win it on back to Maloney on the left side. His pass blocked by Brandon Mount, and it goes out, and Maloney will throw it in for Taylor. Almost 20 minutes in here to half number one. No score. Neither team with a shot on goal just yet. One shot for the Trojans, two so far for MVNU. Salako fakes out Diaz as he dribbles forward. He'll pop this one to the middle. Rivas leaps into the air and heads it away before it could slip onto the backside where Hardy was sprinting. Fancy footwork as Drost will dribble forward. Long pass and headed for Kasperick. Both he and Salako overrun it, and there's Williams to scoop it up off the turf. And Williams will just absolutely annihilate the ball on the punt. That thing carried almost all the way, about 25 yards across midfield. Goodness. Rivas' pass to the far sideline. Back again to the middle and Roldan. And a long pass to the near sideline, easily accepted by one of his teammates. As we mentioned, the small numbers on the front and the dark green on those dark blue uniforms, impossible to read, so we have to wait to see who is who when their backs turn to us, and those big numbers on the back glitter in the lights overhead. Kasperick in the middle. He's easily to spot with those fleet feet. Wheeland, left sideline, has got Rader in front. Pass knocked down, left edge of the penalty area. Rader trying to punch it in. It goes off of the goalie and then off of Rader, and is last touched by Seven and White. And a goal kick upcoming for Joshua Dunn. But before that happens, Clay Vanderkolk will check in for Taylor. He replaces James McBride. Dunn, the freshman from Scotland, adjusts his orange right sock to go with his orange jersey and orange shorts, sprinting forward, and then he'll slowly pass it down to Dimas. Orecchio killing it down with his right foot. Then he plays it out. It goes off of Vanderkolk, and will Orecchio throw it in? Yes, he will. Up the near sideline, Johnson got his foot on it for Taylor, then punches it towards the middle, and Alberghetti fakes a crossfield pass, will slip it off the right side outside of his boot to Rader. Near sideline to the freshman Vanderkolk. He'll dance with it to the middle, then lay it on back to Johnson. Still on the attacking half for Taylor. To the sideline in front of the MVNU bench, Johnson carries it back near midfield, and Taylor will reset in the defensive half. They go from left to right and white to the Trojans. MVNU defends in dark blue. Kasperick will turn to the middle. Trailing the play is Dimas. Make this roll in, with those gloves. Long range left-footed shot. That rises across the crossbar. Over the crossbar, As Taylor keeper Luke Williams yells something in frustration to his defense. So a little riser there from Roldan. No goals and an assist on the year. His only assist came in the game last week with TU for his first points of the season. Rodman with it, racing to the far sideline. He'll sky this one with the left foot. Tracking it on the far sideline is Maloney. Taylor looks for a handball that
will not be granted. Pass all the way to Diaz on the left side. He's got a man circling behind him. That's Barahona. Left-footed centering ball. Williams will snatch that one away with people all around him. Barahona tried to find one of his teammates crashing down the middle. Looks to be that would have been Brandon Mount. The ball was behind him. But good job by Williams to snatch that one right in the middle of the box to prevent any opportunities from the backside. Now it's Whelan trying to undercut Demas. He's got the ball at his feet in the penalty area, trying to get away from trouble. Here's a back heel kick from Rader to Whelan. Here's Vanderkolk up to Rader. Onside in the box. It's into the net, but the flag is in the air, and it's offside against Rader for the second time tonight. So close for the Trojans to going up 1-0 as Rader, who had both of their goals last week, almost added a third one against Mount Vernon Nazarene this season. Instead, we remain scoreless with 20-27 and counting here in the first half. And that one was even closer to being onside than the first time that Rader saw the flag in the air. This time it was also much quicker the whistle came. Now Rader steals it. Carrying in left side. Far sideline to Hardy. He can really scoot. Hits those brakes, now puts his foot into the ground, try to carry it forward. And it's intercepted by MVNU on the far sideline. To the middle and Rivas. One of the captains for MVNU with that armband on his left bicep. Roldan, the junior midfielder out of Westerville, Ohio. Gives it off to Rivas, the man from El Salvador. Into the box, this one goes to Dunn. And then to Dimas with Vanderkolk marking him to the near sideline in Barahona. So Barahona to Diaz, who had the first goal last week for MVNU. Long pass in the middle. Underneath the heel of Dross. It's taken away by Hardy. Alberghetti to Rader, and now to Hardy. Pass behind him, stolen by MVNU. And Barahona, the Brazilian, will deal it off to one of his teammates. That's Dimas. Diaz double teamed, taken away by Johnson with help from Vanderkolk. Johnson to Whelan, who can really move as well. Pass to the middle. Rader looks over that shoulder to see where pressure comes from. He runs away from it with Droston on his heels. Maloney all the way up. Now here's Hardy trying to cut into the end line. Trying to move back to his right, trying to find a little bit of an angle. Could not cross it, deals it back to Maloney. Maloney turns right, foots one in. Whelan, a header onto the goal and just punched over the crossbar by Dunn. And now Dunn gets up and he is pumped, and now he is barking out instructions, pointing at his right eye with his right index finger to his teammates defensively. Here comes the first corner of the night for Taylor. It'll be Rader from the far sideline with 18-10 and counting here in our opening half. So Rader far sideline, Salako on that far side post. He's the closest one to Rader. This ball will come in to the right of the keeper, Dunn. Right foot in there from Rader. In-swinger. Headed up by MVNU and across the end line. And we'll have another corner, this time from the near side of the field for the Trojans. And we'll see if Rader will be the one to take it again. And it looks like it will be Rader to take it again. So we'll see if he wants to take it with his right or his left foot this time. Vanderkolk comes in to apply some assistance. So stand over this one as well with the senior Rader. 17-20 and counting here in half one, no score. Rader, left hand into the air, left foot into the ball. In-swinger, backside, knocked away towards the far side of the field. And it'll be scooped up by Lynn, trying to send it back into the area. Sent skyward, Salako forcing his way forward. Johnson couldn't get it blocked, the pass to the air by MVNU, and now finds the feet of Kasparek. And now he'll try to turn away, and he's sent back to the defensive half by Maloney. Dimas to the far sideline and Rivas. Near midfield it goes to Drost. Running away from Alberghetti, little flick forward. Salako leaps into the air and heads it away before they could find Kasperic. Taylor trying to quickly move up the field. Rader had a tangle between his feet and Drost took it away. Now there's Rader and Drost. Rader hanging on his back and Jeremiah whistled for the foul. Fourth foul against Taylor, 4 against MVNU. Here with 16:07 and counting to go in our first half. Rivas reversing it to the near sideline and Dimas. He's got Bawaruna to the near side. And now Bawaruna will take it on the near sideline. Vanderkolk racing in, and Bawaruna gets it away just before. Vanderkolk went spilling down to the turf. And he is not happy with that from Bawaruna. Excuse me. Wheeland using that speed to cut off MVNU. And then Johnson, a quick pass to Vanderkolk. Here comes Diaz trying to chase him down from behind. Diaz catching up to him. Vanderkolk hits the brakes, trying to spin away from defenders. Is tied away from Kasperic. And then Wheeland pounces on it before Diaz can move it forward. Johnson to Salako in the defensive half. Then far side to the other center back and Noah Rodman. Salako trying to move it forward, and it's taken away by Kasperic as he dances up near midfield and waits for reinforcements. Now he'll engage with Rader marking him. Across the midfield stripe to Rivas with 14:42 remaining in half one, no score in this Crossroads League tournament quarterfinal. Recchio pivots away as now he's on the far side of the field, on the right side of the formation. Vanderkolk blocks a pass into the air, chasing it down. Alberghetti shoved from behind by Drost. And that's the 5th foul against MVNU tonight. Paul McBride waiting in the substitution area to come in. He would be the 3rd sub of the night for TU. As Paul tries to work his way back into the lineup after suffering a lower body injury in that win over Marion earlier this season. 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Salako drives one forward. Bouncing to the far sideline. Last touched by MVNU, and Taylor will throw it in quickly with Maloney. McBride will come in for Taylor. Sammy Atkins comes in for MVNU. Gloves on his hands.
Number 11, Paul McBride.
Owen Hardy exits, replaced by his freshman classmate Paul McBride. As we mentioned, Atkins in for MVNU. I believe that's Mount that just checked out. His chest was towards us, and as we talked about before, you cannot read those small green numbers on the front. He did not turn around, so we're going to, I thought I saw 4, maybe just glittering in the light. So for now, we're going to say it's Mount until we are proven otherwise. 13:08 remaining in the first half, no score. Shots in favor of MVNU, 3-1. With a couple chances on frame for both sides. Rivas in the defensive half up the right side. He'll pass towards the middle. It comes all the way to the near side and Roldan. Wheeland coming forward to apply pressure. Back near midfield comes the goal scorer Kasperic with Vanderkolk right on his back hip. Luke Holwarda getting loose on the near sideline. He's ready to come in at the next opportunity, potentially. Now gets the ball at his feet. Nope. Ball sent away. Now he's got to come in to substitute. Rodman heads it back towards the goal. An easy two-handed catch in the breadbasket in the stomach of Luke Williams. Luke, 6'2 junior out of Indianapolis. Has 2017 season cut short due to torn cartilage in his right knee. Had surgery over Thanksgiving of a year ago. Has done beautifully here this season for TU in his junior campaign. MVNU racing forward. They'll dump one into the far side. The newcomer Atkins goes to chase after it. Rodman will mark him on the far sideline. Atkins goes to the corner. Centering ball called off by Williams is Maloney. And the Taylor keeper were able to snag that bouncing cross inside the penalty area with no trouble. Williams, another absolute missile to the other end on a punt. right leg would be envious of most punters in college athletics. Alberghetti across midfield, a little pass into space. Rader will flick it on back to Lynn near midfield. Near sideline to Johnson. He surveys, gives it back to Lynn. Then back to Johnson. Back across midfield. Atkins comes back for MVNU, shadowing things for the visitors. Salako, he will drive it deep into the night sky. He lets McBride go chase after it. Outside the goal, punched away by the right foot of Dunn. He'll send this one all the way towards the baseball field, which is behind the far side fence. Here comes Luke Holwerda for Taylor.
Number 10, Luke Holwerda.
And Holwerda replaces Vanderkolk, the freshman from Grand Rapids. So a far sideline throw in for TU. Johnson jogs all the way from the near sideline to the far, with almost 10.5 minutes remaining before halftime in a scoreless quarterfinal matchup. Johnson readies and fires this one into the box. McBride hits it back up. There's Lynn, who could not put a left foot onto it as he just whiffed, and then it's curled and cleared away. Alberghetti will hold it in on the MVNU clearance. Now Alberghetti surveys this one into the box. Ross has to backpedal. He makes it a two-handed catch just in 2 yards in front of the goal line. MVNU trying to counter. And then they hit the brakes and give it off to Roldan. Baueruna, the senior from Brazil. Holwerda marking him. And then a pass to the middle is Connor Davis's. P. McBride will punch it away, has the ball at his feet. To Rader. Fakes the pass and gives off to his classmate Alberghetti. 9:40 to go, first half, no score. The 4-seed Taylor, the home team, against the 5-seed Mount Vernon Nazarene. And a pass intended for Whelan, too far for him. Rolls softly and slowly to the defensive half, and Demas will control for MVNU. Roldan to Demas, and then far side of the field to Rivas. A short pass, intercepted easily by Johnson, trying to deflect it up to Holwerda. Taylor trying to clear, could not. Goes off of Holwerda, and MVNU will throw it in with Baueruna. Whelan pestering, and now he steals it, and now he has blue jerseys in front. Whelan from his right, angling to his left, trying to move back to his right. It's touched away by the feet of Demas of MVNU. Defensive half for MVNU. Not a lot of shots in the last few moments for both sides. With 8:19 remaining here in the opening half. No score. There's a pass at the top of the box. Kasparik moved from behind, shot on, and that one will miss the near side post as Atkins just missed redirecting it with his left foot. The initial touch there inside the 18 was Drost's. Here comes Bonsignor.
Now from Mount Vernon, number 20, Dan.
Bonsignor, the freshman from Twinsburg, Ohio, 2 goals and an assist on the season. 7:34 remaining in this quarterfinal matchup between 4-seed Taylor and 5-seed MVNU. Big first touch. Able to corral it back as Demas, then deals it off to Baueruna. To the defensive half. Rivas to the keeper, who's done. Who is done, I should say. He's not done. Still plenty of game left. But his last name is Dunn, D-U-N-N. Roldan gets it away before Whelan could pounce on him. Now to Demas. And then to the far side of the field, this one goes, and Rivas has it at his feet. A long ball in. Johnson heads it away before Baueruna could get to it. And Diaz will throw it in right in the heart, in front of the heart of the Taylor bench down below us. Baueruna fakes the pass, the throw into Atkins, headed away, intended for Bonsignor. Here's Whelan trying to get a toe on it, did, and it got deflected. Then Rader will punch it forward behind Baueruna, and too far for Holwerda to get to, I should say. And MVNU will throw it in at the end of their own bench down below us. Almost 6 minutes to go in the first half. No score between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene. Shots have been at a premium here in the last few moments. These two teams tied 2-2 a week ago with all 4 goals coming in the first 10 minutes. We've played 39 minutes plus here in the second and this first half tonight with no goals scored. MVNU trying to change that with a centering ball from Diaz. It's deflected back out to him. He'll volley it back into the penalty area. One man is there. Williams will score. Then he will smash the MVNU player down. No ill will between either man. As the MVNU player who got up, again, we wait to see who that was. His back is not turned to us. He does have gloves on. And he collided with Williams. No ill will between those two men as they exchange pleasantries. As Rader almost caught that ball in his chest, pulled his gloved hands back at the last moment. Long pass, left side of the field to Maloney. A hair inside midfield. Now a pass to the center circle, touched away by Alberghetti to Sulaco, and then off to Rodman. Almost 5 minutes to go in half one. No score between Taylor and MVNU. Both teams have been close at times tonight, with Taylor and having the most recent good opportunity. Rivas cuts off the long pass for McBride. His clearance, though, held in by Peterlin of Taylor. But it bounces off of his heel. He'll tackle it away back to Maloney, who quickly pushes it up to Paul McBride. Ball has it taken away. Trying to get physical on the far side, and here comes a sprinting MVNU player up the right wing. Peterlin trying to cut him off for Taylor, and he does, winning the ball back for TU. Then Williams has it go off of his feet. He'll kick it away just across the end line. That one goes out to the far sideline, thankfully for Taylor. So it's Sammy Atkins, the one who is looking for a foul. Johnson heads it away in the penalty area. Killing it down is Rader. Carrying up the left side of the field, a pass to Holwerda, stops to come back. Big first touch up to Wheeland. Back heel kick to Holwerda, who dribbles it forward. Wheeland, too far for him. Rivas will send it back up the near sideline with the right foot. Chested forward by Johnson. He and Barayuna collide, and Holwerda scoops up the free ball for Taylor. Rader will dance to the middle with it, hits the brakes, knocked away, and here comes Kasperic. He'll drive it in deep, trying to hit it over Luke Williams. Luke will sprint back in, making the save with his chest, and he'll calmly play the ball at his feet. Kasperic saw Williams out near the top of the box and tried to play it and passed him, and Williams hustled on back and chested that one away. Rader to McBride. Taylor looks for a foul. Their fans do across from us as McBride got pushed from behind. Now he's tackled down to the turf, and there's a foul against MVNU. Now here comes a card out for the Cougars. It looks to be against number 19, Barayuna. He'll go retrieve the ball and then be awarded his yellow card. Yep, it is number 19. So make it 19 Orecchio on the yellow card. His 4th yellow card of the year. Clock is stopped. Just shy of 3 minutes to go here in our first half. Maloney looks over that right shoulder to see how much time is left. Left hand into the air and a right foot into the ball. This one goes to the penalty area. Taylor tracking it, punched away, and that one almost went to the upper 90 on the near side. It was last touched by MVNU, and Taylor will have a corner from the near side of the field. There was a whole gaggle of people there inside, just outside the 6-yard box. The 6'1" Dunn able to sky over everybody, but before he could catch that ball in the mitts, it was knocked away by one of his teammates. So under 3 minutes to go here in the first half, no score. Rader will take the free kick from the near side. It'll be the 3rd one of the night for the home team. Left hand into the air, left foot into the ball. An in-swinger to the middle. Headed away by the MVNU defense. Holwerda heads it back in. Taylor punching it up. There's Sulaco trying to push it on. Wheeland trying to get his toe on it. To the end line, back in. Still loose inside the penalty area. And somehow Mount Vernon Nazarene cleared it away. Alberghetti plays it back in. Raider tried to flick it on with his head. It goes out off of the Mount Vernon Nazarene defense. And after the craziest sequence in the last few moments, Taylor will tee up a corner again from the near side of the field. Just a hair away were the Trojans with almost 2 minutes to go here in the first half from going up 1-0. And that crazy sequence ignites the fans across from us. Raiders left foot, this one a hard one to the back post. Holwarda tried to track it. It comes out to the near side, and then Lynn will dump it back to Alberghetti. He'll send it back into the fray, knocked down, trying to clear it away as MVNU on headers. They're too soft. They can't get it out of there. Salako trying to bash it in. It comes to the near side and will bounce up as Salako uses that size to box out the smaller man. Then it rolls off of his feet as he boxed out Roldan like a power forward. So Brett Single comes in for MVNU. He will replace the dynamic Tim Kasperick. Single did not play, playing in just his 4th match of the year in his freshman campaign. He is from Marysville, Ohio. 72 seconds remaining in our opening half. No score between Taylor and MVNU in this 4-5 matchup of the Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinals. Barayuna back to the defensive half where Dimas will track it down. You hear the call over the PA system. Less than a minute to go here in half one. Rivas stands over it. Dimas will dribble forward. To the near sideline, this pass goes to Roldan. Big left foot. Headed on, still top of the area. Knocking it away with his backside is Atkins, centering it in. That one goes wide behind the goal. So Atkins got his lower back on that bouncing ball, is able to move it on, then pirouette away from trouble. As Williams will slowly track the loose ball down. And he will set this ball up on the goal box with 8 seconds left. So the two teams will go into the halftime break at 0-0. Fun first half so far of this 4-5 seed quarterfinal matchup here on the Trojan Sports Network. After 45 minutes, it's the 4 seed Taylor 0 and the 5 seed Mount Vernon Nazarene 0. We'll be back with the BSN Sports halftime report after this commercial break here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit. Sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
Play that old song! You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You gotta have the music that you listeners listen to.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com. Back here at Turner Stadium, second half about to get underway. BSN Sports Halftime Report. The halftime stats brought to you by BSN Sports. Shots 5-3 in that first half in favor of Mount Vernon Nazarene, but the Trojans had the only 2 shots on goal and 2 saves from Joshua Dunn. 6 fouls in the first half for Mount Vernon Nazarene, 4 for Taylor, a yellow card for Josh Orecchio. Taylor was offside twice, Mount Vernon offside once. And the Trojans had all 4 corner kicks in that opening half. Josiah Whelan, with the temperatures dipping down close to 50, went into the locker room, has donned some gloves for each of his hands. Jeremiah Rader led the first half for Taylor in shots with 2. Matt Roldan led the first half in shooting with 2 for Mount Vernon Nazarene. We're underway second half. And the starters back out there for both sides. Rivas, Dimas, Roldan, Davis, Drost, Kasperic, Mount, Barayuna, Orecchio, Diaz for MVNU with Dunn in the goal. The Trojans counter with Wieland, Lynn, Alberghetti, McBride, Rader, Johnson, Gilliam, Maloney, Rodman, Salako, and Luke Williams in the goal. Did you get all that? There will be a quiz later. Here's Dunn, who had the 2 first-half saves. Knocks the ball down his feet, fakes to his left, goes to his right, and he flips one out to the near sideline where Bawaruna will gather it in. Trying to slip it on through, finds the man he's looking for. Maloney will poke it away, goes off of the feet of the intended man. That was Mount at 6'1", 170. And Taylor will throw it in near sideline with the aforementioned Michael Maloney. Looking right, looking left, looking right, throwing left. Lynn to Gilliam, trying to play it up the near sideline, and that ball rolled out before Cole could move it up. A throw in for Bawaruna. Maloney will send it back up near midfield. Lynn heads it on to Whelan, back to Gilliam, chesting it down, and then slicing it away with the left foot. Maloney up the near sideline, too far for Whelan to get to. And this one will slowly dance up the near side. It's still, nope. It went out off of, and the ball rolled all the way back in the defensive half. Gilliam asking for Bawaruna to move back, and he is before he throws it in. This one goes off the back of Maloney. Gilliam could not save it before it sails out of play along the near sideline. Mount Vernon Nazarene shooting on the goal to our left. They are in dark blue with the green numbers. Taylor in the all white with purple stripes and purple numbers. Kasperick up the near sideline. Maloney will knock it away. And it'll be an MVNU throw in here on the near sideline. They attack the goal to our right. Maloney steps in front of the throw and heads it up. Raider trying to work it forward. Bawaruna hustles back. It'll poke it between the legs of Gilliam, and then Maloney will kick it up to Raider. Try to go between the legs of Bawaruna. He's tied up. Raider sent down to the turf, and Bawaruna will charge forward. Ball slips in. Diaz spinning away twice. Couldn't keep it going as Rodman knocked it away from him. Raider sends it up. Bawaruna cuts it off, and then back down to the near side, and Connor Davis. Raider sprinting. Davis cutting him off. Gilliam takes it away from Davis, and then back to Raider. Left foot's one forward. Bawaruna got a piece, and then Gilliam will angle to the right. Stops and turns, slides, and there's a foul called against MVNU, against Brandon Mount. 7th foul against Mount Vernon Nazarene tonight. Taylor goes from right to left as we're just about 3 minutes in here to the second half. Maloney surveys everything in front. And he'll drive a right-footed free kick towards the top of the penalty area. Deflected back to the near side. Davis, the first one on it for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Gilliam hustling back, and then Davis will right foot one to the middle, and here's Andrew Johnson. To the midfield stripe, and Raider will send it in over Gilliam's head. He races after, but this one too much juice, and it'll roll out of bounds for a Mount Vernon Nazarene throw-in from deep in their defensive half. Bawaruna will throw it in for MVNU. Gloves on either of his hands and long blue sleeves underneath his blue uniform. A high throw. Raider heads it back in. Raider had a man on top of him. The Taylor bench hollers for a foul that won't come. Raider trying to keep it going in their favor. Maloney steps in front. Will punch it in off the heel of Gilliam, trying to dance with it, trying to turn away from Bawaruna. And he's tripped on the near sideline. A foul on Bawaruna. 8th foul against MVNU, and now Taylor with an opportunity for a little set piece here from the near sideline. They attack the goal to our left. 4.5 minutes into half number 2 with no score of this Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinal. Maloney and Raider talk things over the ball. A 2-man wall with their keeper Dunn directing them. Now Maloney will back off. He'll let Raider take this one all by himself. Raider to the back post, circling, headed away easily by MVNU's defense. James McBride trying to keep it going in Taylor's way near the top of the penalty area. Punched back in by TU. Lynn trying to spin over that left shoulder. Diaz bumps him away. McBride will hold it away and take it away from a sprinting MVNU player. McBride racing to the middle, knocked away, gathering it back, and he'll flip it back near midfield. Alberghetti skies it. Whelan tracking, headed into the penalty area, and the flag in the air, Taylor offside. Third offside against Taylor here this evening. First one of the second half. And Rivas will take this free kick. He'll send it all the way to the far side of the field. Orecchio, the left outside back. And Barbaruna, the right outside back. He has it on the near sideline. He and Gilliam collide, and Cole takes it away. Now off to Rader in the middle of towards the middle of the field. Now back to the near sideline for Taylor. Sending it in. There's Gilliam letting it roll forward. He's onside as Gilliam trying to get behind. He's left edge of the box, centering ball through and could not find Whelan as it's sent back up, and then Davis will clear it away. A header by Johnson. This one straight into the air. Hits the turf, bounces high. Diaz trying to box out the pesky Peter Lynn for Taylor. His kick goes to Whelan, middle of the field. Rader, long range, left foot shot, deflected and saved and knocked down by Joshua Dunn. Rader tried to dial it up from long distance, just inside, about 30 yards away. And his third shot makes a third save for Joshua Dunn tonight. It's Whelan and Rader with all 4 shots, 3 of them to Rader, 1 to Whelan. MVNU sends this one all the way to the other side of the field. Easily stopped by the Taylor keeper, Luke Williams. Big bounce on the punt from Williams. Alberghetti skies and gets a piece of it. Rader will keep it moving here in the middle. Little flick near side. Maloney on the ground up to Whelan. Big first touch. Then losing it is Barbaruna, and here comes Whelan charging forward. Into the box, left edge. Send it to the middle. Crossing pass intercepted, and sending it out of there is MVNU. Barbaruna still down on the near side of the field. Diaz with the ball. He'll send it to the near side, and Kasperic as Barbaruna now back to his feet on the defensive half for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Kasperic carrying forward, pass on the far side of the box. Sprinting after it will be Drost, trying to get to it at the corner. He does, and now he'll be marked in the corner by Johnson. His pass deflected and picked up by McBride for Taylor, who will send it forward with a left foot near midfield. Good to see Barbaruna back on his feet, but still favoring that left leg as the pass comes to him on the near side. Here comes Gilliam ready to pounce. Almost 8 minutes into the second half, still no score. Taylor with the only shot so far here after halftime. Orecchio carrying forward, hits the brakes. And the save on the outside, snagged by Williams as that one's sent on frame. Clay Vanderkolk quickly to the midfield area, ready to come in. And the punt from Williams deflected back to the midfield stripe. Volleyed forward by Rader. Gilliam trying to box out and get there. Then he takes the man down. The foul comes, and it's a hold on Gilliam for using the forearm. As he and Roldan were fighting for the same real estate. Mount Vernon Nazarene seems content to slowly move things forward from the defensive half here. Barbaruna. An aggressive tackle from Gilliam, who gets whistled for the foul. And now Gilliam has a brief word with our head official, who points to his head. So Gilliam now has the eye of our head official. If any more aggressive tackles from Gilliam, we would most likely assume that we would see a card come out against 18 and white. He steps in front of the pass here. Big first touch. Rolls back all the way to the defensive half for MVNU, and DeMoss sends it forward. Intercepted by Andrew Johnson. Runs through tackle attempts as his arms pulled from behind. Diaz, back heel kick. This will be Drost. Into space near side. Here comes Barbaruna. Running at full fledge. Or full force, I should say. Dancing to his right. Cut off by Maloney. A slide by Rodman. The kick and the slide goes off of Maloney in a corner upcoming here for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Their first one here tonight. It'll be from the near side of the field. And now Diaz will jog over and take it from the near side. This one will come into the left of Williams as MVNU shooting on the goal to our right. It's their first corner of the evening, just about 10 minutes in to our second half. Diaz approaches, short one with a right foot. Roldan circling back to Diaz. Raider comes out, trying to block it, still sent in. Headed straight into the air by Rodman, still inside the penalty area. It falls down. MVNU looking for a handball on Taylor. That will not come. Now Wheeland will steal it. Roldan cuts him off, shoving him away. Then Wheeland reaches out and takes Roldan down from behind on a tackle, a literal tackle, with his hands. And Roldan comes over, gets the apology from Josiah Wheeland. No ill intentions from either man, both just going for the same spot of turf and the same ball. And so this free kick will come 15 yards inside midfield on the right side of the field. And Connor Davis over it, but it looks like Roldan will take it with a left foot, and he will. Towards the goal to our right, to the far side post, and that one sails over everybody. As the MVNU player, it looked like it was Drost, had slipped behind the Taylor D. On a good-looking ball there from Roldan. Vanderkolk in, he replaces Cole Gilliam. Goal kick from Williams, right up near midfield. Stepping in is Lynn. Could not head it forward, and then Johnson will send it up for TU. McBride lost his footing, so Lynn has to come back and try to win the pass from MVNU. Maneuvering with it far side, Diaz and both Mount force the ball out. And Orecchio will get it in quickly on a throw in for Mount Vernon Nazarene. To the defensive half, and Roldan. And to the neon yellow boots of Rivas. Vanderkolk collapsing on Barayuna. And here's Rivas, a long pass towards midfield. Barayuna steps away, Vanderkolk takes him down. And now time will stop against Vanderkolk as Barayuna still slow to get back up. And Vanderkolk will be given a yellow card. First yellow card against the Trojans tonight. The first one against Vanderkolk here in his college career. So Barayuna still down here to midfield as Vanderkolk took his legs out from underneath him. Remember earlier, Barayuna was a little bit slow to get back up, favoring that left leg. Was able to get back to his feet. And he's still now back on his knees being attended to by the athletic training staff. And Barayuna will be able to walk and be examined here in the medical tent down below us. Colin Gaines will come in to replace him, the 5'10 freshman from Streetsboro, Ohio, and Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. First time we've seen Gaines here tonight. He's playing in his 15th match of the year. He did appear off the bench against Taylor last Wednesday in the regular season finale. So the clock restarts, to the end line MVNU goes. Here's a corner from the far side for Mount Vernon Nazarene, their second one of the night. 0-0 with almost 32 minutes remaining in half two. This will come in to the right of Williams from the far side corner, and the goal to our right. Here comes playing in an in-swinger. Salako heads that one away. Raider will send it up towards midfield. Wheeland bumped on his way there, and that allows Orecchio to hold it in. Pass sent towards the penalty area. Skied up there, hits in the center circle. Vanderkolk trying to head it forward. The newcomer Gaines pushes it in MVNU's favor. Mount's pass cut off by Maloney of Taylor. Now Raider will turn and run up the field. Up the far sideline, here comes James McBride with some room to work. He moves into his left, still stepping in, left-footed shot blocked, trying to get it back in the middle as McBride. He overruns it, and that allows Orecchio to scoop it up and work it over to Diaz for MVNU. Diaz, a little stop and start, runs away from McBride. Left-footed pass to the middle. Maloney heads it right up towards Vanderkolk, just outside the center circle. Vanderkolk pushed from behind. Taylor looks for a foul that won't come. And this pass off target rolls out of play, and TU will throw it in with Maloney. As we approach 31 minutes remaining here in our opening half. Or second half, excuse me. Maloney to throw it in. Does. Then sent down the line by Mount of MVNU. Rodman heads it up. Vanderkolk boxes out Mount. Maloney up to Rader. Dancing in the defensive half. Pressure comes from behind, and then Maloney will drive this one forward. It'll curl into the Taylor bench down below us. There in the bench to our left. That's towards the goal they are shooting on here in the second half. MVNU on the other bench. They are shooting on the goal to our right where their bench is. Here's Mount with a little takeaway. Trying to dart down the right side of the box. A tackle from Rodman. And it goes out of bounds off of Mount and back to Taylor. Mount was jogging in, anticipating an MVNU throw-in, and now he'll watch Maloney get up, and now Rodman gets into position. Rader, a big first touch, taken away by MVNU. Kasparik to Roldan. Centering ball over everyone's head and snagged by the Taylor keeper, Luke Williams. "15 minutes into half number 2. No score between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene. Here in this 4-5 quarterfinal matchup. Taylor the 4 seed, MVNU the 5 seed. Mount Vernon Nazarene setting things up in the defensive half. And the pass comes to Gaines along the near sideline. Gaines moving to his left. Vanderkolk trying to get him from behind, slips it away. Back to Gaines stepping in. Here's Mount, left-footed shot, leaping and snagging it is Williams. First save of the night for Luke. 6th shot of the night for MVNU. That's their first one on goal. Good crowd here on hand below us on a beautiful evening for soccer in the Midwest, particularly here on October 31st on Halloween. This one sent in. Whelan heads it forward. The keeper's out. Whelan trying to get to the end line first, kills it back, trying to send it into the box. It's deflected, and it'll be a corner here for Taylor as Rivas trying to stretch out that right leg as he sits at the top of the penalty area. Joshua Dunn, the MVNU keeper, came out, and Whelan was able to beat him to the ball, then almost was able to turn back. And for about the second or third time since we've noticed, Dunn is going to have to retie his boot. It will stop the clock with almost 28.5 minutes to go in the second half, as one of Dunn's teammates will retie that right boot. Good to see Rivas back to his feet, the MVNU defender. Rader and McBride on the near side corner. It's the 5th one of the night for the Trojans. Rader has taken the previous 4. He directs things with that left hand. Left hand into the air. Right foot into the ball. To the backside post. Johnson got his head on it. Lynn trying to force his way forward. There's Diaz with it, spinning away, trying to find the outlet. It goes off of whom? And we'll actually call a foul against Lynn, and it's going to be a free kick from just inside the end line here for Mount Vernon Nazarene. And a quick restart there for the Cougars in the defensive half. Foul number 8 against Taylor. That matches the total by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Johnson, that's a sprint up that far sideline, trying to get to it first. It goes out. Last touched by Taylor, so a deep throw in the attacking half, near the attacking final third for Mount Vernon Nazarene. As we slip below, 28 minutes remaining here in the second half with no score. Diaz, his pass goes off the back of McBride and out of play. That's James McBride. Owen Hardy down below us, ready to check in. Diaz will play it back to the defensive half, where Dimas will control. Rivas to the near sideline, and here's Gaines. Vanderkolk there, put between the legs of Vanderkolk. Being tugged on from behind by Gaines, who's whistled for the foul. 9th one against MVNU. As we approach 27 minutes remaining in regulation. And Maloney will set up for the free kick. Maloney right foots it forward to the top of the penalty area. Knocked away by the forehead of Rivas for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Diaz comes in, gets a piece of it, and now here comes Mount Vernon Nazarene the other way. Gaines near sideline, waits for the ball to come to him. Vanderkolk and Maloney defend. Gaines will just kick it in deep off of a Taylor defender, and Mount Vernon Nazarene will throw it in. Gaines throws it in to Davis, deflected out off of Davis, and Maloney will throw it in for Taylor. But not before Owen Hardy joins the fun here in the second half. He replaces his freshman classmate James McBride just like he did in the first half. Maloney trying to throw it in. Now finds his target. Wanted Raider, knocked away by MVNU. Lynn comes in with that big right foot, deflecting it towards midfield. Sulaco heading it down, wanted to find Hardy, intercepted by Drost. Rolled in to the near sideline. It comes to Gaines now, who steps back across midfield and plays to Rivas on the defensive half. The center circle, the pass comes to Roldan. Left foot, the pass forward, knocked down by Drost. Alberghetti comes in with an aggressive tackle, or an aggressive challenge, I should say. And now Rivas resets in the defensive half, changing the point of attack. Long pass to Kasperic. Long shot goes wide of the goal. About 10 yards wide left. That's the first shot by Tim Kasperic tonight. He had a team-high 8 when these two teams met a week ago last Wednesday night on this very same field. Taylor shooting on the goal to our left. And a foul called against Mount Vernon Nazarene. Looks like Kasperic went to challenge Sulaco and then got part of the foot. Sulaco came up limping briefly. And he got called for the foul. McBride ready to come into the next chance. Maloney near sideline. Couldn't cross it, dumps it back to Vanderkolk. Pressure comes from Davis. Vanderkolk falls down. Taylor's bench looks for a foul that won't come. Davis picks up the ball and throws it in to Drost. Spinning away from Lynn, pass to the center circle. Good move there by Hardy to cut off Mount and win the ball back for Taylor. Vanderkolk with a touch. Right side of the field, 5 yards outside midfield is Hardy. He'll dump it in, too far for Wieland. And Josiah hits the brakes and watches Demas easily chase after that long pass. 23:45 remaining in half two. No score between number 4 seed Taylor and number 5 seed Mount Vernon Nazarene. As two subs come in for Mount Vernon Nazarene near midfield. Bonsignor and Atkins. Wieland trying to turn upfield, cut off. Raider gets the ball back for TU. Raiders pass deflected over towards Hardy on the right side, but he couldn't get to him cleanly. Now MVNU will set things up in the defensive half as we approach 23 minutes remaining in a scoreless regulation contest. Roldan laying it off to Demas. Then back to Roldan and 10 yards outside midfield. He'll left foot one across. Backing up as Vanderkolk heads it back towards the middle. Winning in his Mount stepping in. Lynch forces him away. Kasperic comes in, takes it away from Lynn, and now here's Mount scooping it up. Kasperic calls for it, won't get it. Near sideline pass comes to Davis. About 5 yards or 4 yards or so outside the penalty area. Back to the trailing Gaines. He steps away from Vanderkolk. Gaines comes in. His centering ball blocked by Lynn. The MVNU bench looks for a handball. And they will not be acknowledged with what they request. So Williams will get ready for another punt. And again, he just obliterates this one to the other side. Wheeland with a header, back heel kick from Hardy. Rivas the first one there, then he sends it back over his head with his back to midfield. Maloney knocks it down right to Alberghetti, slipping it on back to Rodman. High in the air, nobody there except Rivas for MVNU, and he heads it up into the center circle. Drost was to come to him, Raider pouncing on him. Drost cut off by Lynn and Raider. Circles and gives off to Diaz. And then to the trailing defender in Demas. Left side Orecchio, now Drost. Lynn with a slide, takes it away. Now here's Raider in the center circle. He's got Wieland to his left. Raider runs through a back tackle, trying to slip it on through. Falling down is Rivas, and then it's picked up by Vanderkolk. Trying to go cross field into the penalty area. Too short for Hardy to get to. Back up near midfield, Alberghetti will hold it in. Kasparek comes in from behind. Vanderkolk with a header towards the top of the box. Rivas cannot clear. Here's Vanderkolk chesting it down. Flicking it back to Rader. His pass blocked and out of play to the right off the back of the wall, right in front of the Taylor bench. So Cole Gilliam returns for TU, along with Paul McBride. Vanderkolk and Hardy exit. Connor Davis and Rene Diaz exit for MVNU, with Atkins and Bonsignor coming in for the Cougars. 6 shots, Mount Vernon Nazarene, 4 for Taylor, as we have less than 21 minutes remaining in our scoreless second half. Alberghetti in the middle, in the center circle. To Johnson, right side. Now he runs to his left. Crossfield pass near side to Maloney. Taylor attacking the goal to our left. Maloney into the penalty area, too far for Whelan to get to, and Dimas will let the keeper Dunn handle that one easily. Dunn with a sneaky little roll out to Dimas. And a crossfield pass comes to Rivas. Rivas to Roldan. Roldan passing across midfield to Drost. Trying to send it on through. Intended for Bonsignor. Williams cuts it off, slides on the end line, and keeps it in. Looks like Luke thought that one might have been deflected by one of his defenders, and wisely keeps it in play and prevents it from rolling across the end line and setting up another corner for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Lynn dumping it back to Johnson. Bonsignor collapsing from behind. Lynn's pass knocked down. Rader has it at his feet. Knocked away from him. Rader trying to fight back and does. Gilliam had it for a moment. And then they call Cole for the foul. And then Cole kicks it away, and a card will not come against Gilliam. He had been warned earlier in the half when he was jostling around with Babayuna. And here comes MVNU. Paul McBride intercepts. Trying to move forward, cut off by Roldan. Rivas will send it deep into the area with his keeper Dunn. Then quickly it is dished off to Dimas. 19:09 remaining in the second half. 0-0 between Taylor and MVNU. They played close to 200 minutes of scoreless soccer as Williams slides on the ball near the end line. All 4 goals by both teams last Wednesday scored in the first 10 minutes. We're closing action on close to 150 minutes of scoreless soccer between these two teams dating back to last week. Maloney couldn't get his foot on it. Atkins, right edge of the penalty area. His centering ball blocked by Rodman. It stays in play, and Atkins will chase it down. Atkins trying to get away from Rodman, does, right edge of the area. Centering ball blocked down by Maloney. This one will stay in play right before Maloney could punch it back in, and it will roll across the end line and be a corner for Mount Vernon Nazarene from the near side of the field. We get close to 18 minutes remaining here in this second half. Third corner of the night for the visiting Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars. It'll be Matt Roldan to take it from the near side corner. It'll come into the left of Williams and the goal to our right. Drost went running forward, now comes back. Roldan looks to take it with the left foot, and he will. This is an in-swinger. Back post, headed away by Johnson of Taylor. Kept in by MVNU, whiffing on it is Kasparek. That gives Gilliam time to get to him. And then a sliding shot is either sent out of bounds and deflected by Gilliam. Another corner upcoming here for Mount Vernon Nazarene, this one from the far side of the field. And Kasparek looks to be taking this one from the far side. Little Little short play, up to Drost, spins away end line, taken right away by Peterlin, who will just bash this one up near midfield. Gaines retreats, back to the keeper in Dunn, who did not play last week against Taylor on Wednesday night, has 3 saves this evening. Taylor head coach Gary Ross hollering out for a sub, and he'll bring in James McBride to replace his brother Paul. (16-19) remaining here in half number 2. Whelan sprinting forward, try to get his head on it. Rader will save it and then drill it out of bounds on the far sideline. Connor Davis and Rodrigo Barayuna ready to return to the field for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Orecchio move to his right towards the middle, then retreats. And MVNU sets things up in the defensive half. Roldan try to get away from Rader, who punched it in deep, too far for Whelan to get to. And jogging leisurely after it is the keeper Joshua Dunn, clad in orange. He is in orange. Neon green top tonight for Luke Williams with the white shorts. Sulaco backpedaling, got his head on it. Goes over Bonsignor's head. McBride trying to work it forward with his noggin. And MVNU holding it in the attacking half. Roldan with Whelan racing from behind. They give off to Gaines between the legs of McBride. Roldan dancing with it, moving back to his left. He's got the ball in a string, and then the pass intercepted. McBride, a dump. Here's the midfield and Whelan, who's turning upfield. He's got Rader to his left, Gilliam to his right, passing on through. McBride trying to slide in, and just at the last moment, it's Gaines to slide and kick it away. Did it go across the end line or the sideline? Rader juggling with it, and the ruling is sideline. With almost 14 and a half minutes to go in the second half, Johnson will throw it in from the near sideline for TU. Flings it in. Headed into the air by MVNU. There's Rader. Couldn't get his head on it. Knocked away. Lynn towards the goal mouth. Nobody there in white to make another touch on it as Dunn snags it and whips it out to the near side of the field. And Kasperick, the dynamic goal scorer. Sliding in, Atkins falls down as he and Rodman fought for the same piece of real estate. Stopped inside the penalty area by Taylor keeper Luke Williams. And he'll nudge it forward to Juan Alberghetti. Alberghetti forward. Whelan knocks it down and then turned away. This one in deep. Maloney's got to hustle after it. Hits the Jets. Atkins will shove him from behind, and Atkins will win it back for Mount Vernon Nazarene. End line cross blocked by Rodman. Maloney will block another one. He's taken down near side back Kasperick. And a foul, no foul. It will go out of bounds on Maloney, and Mount Vernon Nazarene will throw it in. The Taylor students across from us sense that there is no foul called by our officiating crew, but their opinion is not the one that matters. The opinion that matters are those wearing the yellow uniforms tonight. Davis and Barayuna back in, and Barayuna will throw it in. To the end line it goes. Rodman undercuts Kasperick and heads it back out almost rightly where Barayuna stands. A throw into the corner, and Kasperick. Rodman marks him. Rodman walking him to the corner. Kasperick deflects it off of Rodman. This one goes off the sideline, and it will be another Mount Vernon Nazarene throw-in. Barayuna throws it in. Kasperick has it as his feet near sideline. Back up to Roldan. Rader trying to take it away. Up the near sideline. Roldan cuts off Rader. And the ball goes out and stays with MVNU. 12.5 to go here, half number 2. And MVNU will set things up for the defensive half once again. Roldan to Rivas. Uninhibited as he walks across midfield. Kasperick in deep. Rodman throws his foot on it. Did he miss it? Yes, he did. So it'll be a goal kick for Williams. Bawaruna shouts at our near side official, thinking that Rodman had got a piece of it. Luke Holwerda in for Taylor, replacing Cole Gilliam. So a late push here with a little more speed out there with Holwerda with the fresh legs to replace Gilliam. 11:35 and counting here in OT, or excuse me, here in our second half, excuse me. We look to be destined for overtime right now with the offenses kind of stuck in the mud here for most of the second half after a few moments of creativity. Speaking of creativity, here comes the artist in McBride. A back heel kick, Bawaruna kicks it away. And now Maloney will throw it in with 11:14 and counting here in the second half. Maloney fakes the throw to his left, now deals off to Wieland. One touch into space, Bawaruna takes it away. Now here comes Dross the other way from Mount Vernon Nazarene. Up the field to Kasperick. To the middle, between the legs of Atkins, headed away by Salako. Alberghetti had a high kick, and he makes contact with Atkins. A foul against the Argentinian, Juan Alberghetti. 10 fouls aside now, with 10:45 and counting here in the second half. Free kick here with Roldan of Mount Vernon Nazarene. He's been the primary free kick taker tonight. High left-footed service that sails over everyone's heads and lands about 5 yards over the end line. Out of play. Vanderkolk returns here in the second half for Taylor to replace James McBride. Fought for near midfield. A little dump forward by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Kasperick, instead of having long passes sent to him like Wednesday, now trying to create near midfield. As we dip below 10 minutes remaining here in our second half. 0-0 between Taylor and MVNU. Pass on through. Rodman steps in front of the intended man, Atkins. Holwerda trying to hunt this one down on the far sideline. Johnson heads it to him, and Holwerda will drive it forward, and it finds right to the feet of Josiah Wieland. Pass too short, taken away by Kasperick, intended for Rader. Kasperick dances away from Alberghetti. Long shot. Williams snaves it right into his gut. Kasperick uncorked one, but it was right to the waiting arms of Luke Williams, the Taylor keeper, for his second stop of the night. Almost 9 to go here in half two. No score between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene, the 4-5 Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinal showdown. Alberghetti center circle. Long ball in. He'll let Vanderkolk go chase after it. Orecchio back. Got a piece of it. And it stays in Taylor's favor on a throw in near sideline. Below less than 9 to go in the second half. And Andrew Johnson, one of the tri-captains for Taylor, will throw it in here on the near side of the field. He backs all the way up onto the concrete and throws it in. Headed away across the end line by Mount Vernon Nazarene, and here comes another corner for the Trojans tonight. It'll be their 6th one of the evening. Rene Diaz waiting to come back in for Mount Vernon Nazarene. And now it'll be Vanderkolk joining Rader in the near side corner. This ball will come in to the right of Dunn, the keeper in the goal to our left for Mount Vernon Nazarene with less than 8 to go in the second half. No score. Rader, right foot in swinger. Salako crashing backside. That one slices through everybody. Still rolls softly to the far side corner. Orecchio, the first one to it. He'll send it up. It goes off of a leaping Lynn and out of play. Rene Diaz returns here in the second half. Same thing with Brandon Mount. A beautiful looking ball from Rader that went through the entire penalty area and out of play with a couple different Trojans sliding after it, trying to get contact with it. Bonsignor and Atkins exit 12 and 21 for Mount Vernon Nazarene. The throw-in held in by Taylor's Andrew Johnson. Wieland, the two men around him, now breaks free. A pass to Rader. Just outside the penalty area, trying to get a shot off. Denied. Still fumbling with the ball. Now gets it back at his feet as he dances back near midfield. Less than 7 to go in the second half. Maloney angling to the middle. Curling one to Holwarda, top of the penalty area, goes off of his shoulder, then sent away by Roldan of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Johnson heads it back in. One header on. Raider trying to move it forward, still loose. Hits back down to the turf, bounces over Vanderkolk's head. He and Orecchio fight for the same spot of artificial surface. And a tackle from Vanderkolk taken away, and they call a foul against Taylor. And that gets all of the Taylor fans hopping mad, both on this side and the far side of the field as well. Taylor's fans were anticipating Vanderkolk could get the tackle there, pop back to his feet, and start creating from the left side of the penalty area. Instead, it's Mount Vernon Nazarene setting things up for the defensive half on the 11th foul against the home team tonight. Roldan to the patiently waiting Demas with no one around him for about 10 to 15 yards. Demas moves forward, right foot's a big one in. Off of Kasperick, and he gets it back. Flicking it into the box, Davis, cut off by Rodman. And he'll slice this one away from trouble inside the area. Roldan a touch. And then MVNU sends it back across to Demas, across midfield. Rivas, heavy ball far side, headed away by Taylor. Holwarda trying to get there. And he's able to win position against Barayuna. Short pass. Raider lets it come to him. A dump off to Vanderkolk, trying to flip it back in. Too short for Raider to get to. Vanderkolk takes it away from Rivas after his clearance was not able to drive it away from Vanderkolk. Rodman trying to go far side. Whelan steps in front, throws a toe on it, turns and sends it up, but it's intercepted by Barayuna here of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Drost maneuvering away up to Diaz, left sideline. He'll left foot one to the middle with 5 to go in the second half. Maloney back up. Vanderkolk will knee it, but a heavy ball off the first touch goes out of bounds, and an MVNU throw and upcoming. Here with Josh Orecchio from Marysville, Ohio. That ball slipped out of his hands. Kasperick still able to get to it first. Vanderkolk touching off to Raider, then back to Vanderkolk, then to Alberghetti. Up near midfield, between the officials' legs. Whelan to Lynn, but this one back and intercepted by Diaz of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Drost will let Kasperick race after it. Left edge of the box, a centering ball. That Salako will slide away with the right foot. Barayuna holding it in. Left sideline, Kasperick. Taylor trying to signal that Kasperick was offside. He got back just in time. Centering ball, Salako will take the man down inside the penalty area. Orecchio left edge of the box, touching away. Left footed shot, curling to the weak side. Deflected away by the hip of Noah Rodman of Taylor. Almost 4 to go in the second half. MVNU reloading inside the box, turning to the end line, trying to center its Mount Vernon Nazarene off the fingertips of Williams, and then sent away by Vanderkolk across the end line. As that Mount Vernon Nazarene, their offense ramping up here late in regulation as they knock on the door. Here comes another set piece, their 5th corner of the night. Williams sprawling all over the goal area. This ball won't get played in until we have less than 3.5 minutes to go. It's Connor Davis, number 9, the captain. A short ball near side to Roldan. Whelan marks him. This one slides through everybody to the middle, and Diaz from long range snagged off the turf as that one died as Williams able to stop it. Third save for Luke as the bottom just dropped out of that ball from Diaz. And thankfully bounced right in front of Williams instead of bouncing. That bounces maybe a foot or 6 inches ahead and might have the opportunity as Williams diving down. He'd have to throw an arm in the air trying to make contact with the bouncing ball. Less than 3 to go. Vanderkolk almost got there before Rivas was able to slice it away. Davis a touch near side to Orecchio, who switched sides here with Barayuna here in the second half. Barayuna started off as the left outside back for MVNU here in the second half. He and Orecchio have switched sides. Raider steps in front, takes the ball away from Drost, fakes a pass, and then it rolls out of play far sideline. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining in regulation. And now Mount Vernon Nazarene will again set things up for the defensive half. A heavy ball from one side of the field to the near. And Orecchio knocks it down with no one around him in white. Roldan in the middle. And then lightly jogging forward is Dimas. Long pass finds the feet of Drost. Kasperick overlaps as Diaz centers. Williams skies and snags and intercepts. Luke wanted a quick restart there. He's ready to make the catch that set his feet and then almost in one smooth motion punt this one into oblivion. Still punts it into oblivion, just had to wait for folks to get back. Held in the attacking half by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Kasperick lets it roll, watch it bounce past Rodman, too far for him to get to. Williams snags and rolls it out with heat to the far side and Andrew Johnson. 80 seconds remaining here in regulation, no score. Johnson sends it in deep. Backpedaling, getting ahead on it was Dimas. To the middle, Rader trying to jump away, cut off by Roldan who boxed him out, and then Roldan will sky this one across midfield. The 1 minute notice about to come.
1 minute remaining.
There it is. Salako to the attacking half for Taylor. Holwerda down to Rader. Rader, a little flick on. Holwerda cutting in, and the ball went to his right, kicked away by Babaruna. 45 seconds left in regulation. Holwerda will dump it down as Taylor has got an opportunity here with a throw-in to try to play for a final shot of regulation. No score this 4-5 seed quarterfinal matchup. Johnson puts that left hand into the air, throws it in with 27 seconds left. Holwerda touch on, sent away by MVNU. Alberghetti tracking, following it back in, headed away by Mount Vernon Nazarene with 17 seconds left. Headed down by Lynn, now 15, now 14, now 13. Pass in space, too far for Vanderkolk. Kasperick racing with 7, he'll drive it in deep. Luke Williams backpedaling, makes the catch at the chest. And he'll dribble it out, he'll punt it into the air. And we head to overtime for the second week in a row. Here between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene. This time we are scoreless after 90 minutes of play. A golden goal situation coming up after this brief timeout here on the Trojan Sports Network. We go to overtime here in this quarterfinal matchup between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene. We are scoreless through 90 minutes.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
"90 minutes of soccer, not enough" here for our 4-5 seed quarterfinal matchup between Taylor, the 4 seed, and Mount Vernon Nazarene, the 5 seed. 10-minute overtime, 1. If we need a second, we'll go to that. We're in a golden goal situation. If we get through both overtimes, then we head to penalty kicks. Neither team hoping it gets to that far. We saw when we were at practice on Monday, Taylor working on it. The entire roster went through that PK drill. But again, Taylor would love to get the golden go here and move their way onto the semis. Maloney drives it in deep. Here's Whelan. Taylor attacking the goal to our left. It goes off ball goes off the forearm of Josiah. And a handball free kick upcoming for Rivas, the defender for Mount Vernon Nazarene. So Taylor shooting on the goal to our left to start this first overtime. The same goal that they shot on in the second half. And Johnson will send that way to the middle. Whelan jumps in. It's deflected over to Jeremiah Rader. Owen Hardy gets a start here in the first overtime. Rader carrying in. Still dancing. Goes back to his right. Knocked away at the last moment. And now James McBride will slip it up to Rader. A little dump back to Lynn. Off of his foot. Kasperick takes it away. Lynn gets him around the ankle and gets whistled for the foul. And now Kasperick down. No card against Lynn. Nope, there is the card, I should say. So the card comes out. Second yellow against a Taylor player tonight. Vanderkolk and Lynn each with those cards this evening. Demas setting it up. He'll smoke this one deep. Nobody there except the keeper, Luke Williams, for Taylor. 1 minute into the first overtime. Scoreless between Taylor and MVNU. They've played over 100 minutes of, close to 150 minutes of scoreless soccer after the first 4 goals in the regular season scored in the first 10 minutes. Scoreless for the rest of the contest. They went to 2 overtimes last week, and they were scoreless here 90 seconds into the first overtime. So a foul there against Mount Vernon Nazarene in the center circle. Salako will take it. Crouching, walking, faking. Now kicking into the penalty area. Backpedaling are the Trojans. Headed back near the top of the area. McBride had it bounce in front of him. Diaz will clear it away from Mount Vernon Nazarene. Into the center circle. Salako backpedals and sends it out to the right side. Alberghetti looking over his shoulder, trying to find it. Johnson fighting with Diaz for space, and Diaz wins it for MVNU. Jitterbugging away, Louis Bamaruna. And then MVNU gives it back to Diaz left side. Left foot one deep. This is Drost, left side. Left side of the box. Drost looking to center. Pulls it away. His centering ball blocked by the chest of Salako. Lynn with it. Kasperic trying to chase him down from behind. Deals off to Hardy. And then back to Johnson, who right foots it deep. Too high for Whelan to get into the air and make contact with. And Mount Vernon Nazarene settles it down with Rivas. Right footing it forward. Near the midfield stripe. Mounts. Knocked from behind by Rader, who gets whistled for the foul. 12th foul against Taylor tonight. No score, 3 minutes into the first overtime. Here, this quarterfinal matchup between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene, with Clay Vanderkolk ready to come in at the next chance. Rolled in a yard inside midfield for the lefty free kick. Towards the top of the area. Williams will snag it in the air as that ball went sailing over the head of what looked to be Brandon Mounts inside the penalty area for Mount Vernon Nazarene. And then Williams will uncork a right-handed missile about 40 yards in the air. Goodness. Whelan boxing it out near side, knocked away by Orecchio. Whelan comes through the scrum with it. He maneuvers to the middle. Will flick it on back to Lynn. Will pop it in there, headed back away by Mount. Lynn's side of the skull, the right side of the skull holds it in. Maloney, long pass to McBride, able to hold it in before it rolled out of play. Tight pass in tight quarters to Rader, slips and gets it over to Maloney. Fakes the pass, trying to box the man out. Pulled on his shoulders, does not deter Maloney, and a foul called against Connor Davis for tugging on those Maloney shoulders. 4 minutes into overtime, number 1. A free kick in front of his own bench for Jeremiah Rader, one of the tri-captains for TU. His mates back up and give him space on the near side of the field. Keaton Clay reaches down, pulls some debris away from where Rader will knock it in. To the near sideline, McBride, a high bounce off of his initial touch. Being marked by Orecchio. McBride trying to get to the end line, turns, centering ball, knocked away, and here comes a corner kick for Taylor, as deflecting away was Roldan. Nice little move there in tight quarters by James McBride. A corner for TU, almost halfway home here in overtime number 1. Rader and James McBride stand over it from the near side. It'll come into the right of Dunn. Rader, right foot into it, crashing in. Salako, who heads it over the crossbar and out of play. Clay Vanderkolk in for Taylor. He replaces Owen Hardy. And now the Taylor students across from us have vacated their front row seats. They have taken up residence right on the far sideline, right on the pitch. 4:50 and counting here in the second half, or assuming in the first overtime. And Dunn will send it forward. Headed in deeper by MVNU across midfield. Johnson stopped it, could not keep it pressing back up to the attacking half. Kasperic, marked by Salako left side. Kasperic dancing with the ball, poked away from behind to the end line. Johnson clears it out to the far sideline. It was Vanderkolk who came in and was able to snipe that ball away from Kasperic from behind. A quick throw in. Now it's turned over by Vanderkolk. Passing to the middle. Whelan with 2 defenders back. Big first touch from Josiah Whelan. Cleared out to the far sideline by Rivas. Almost disaster there for Mount Vernon Nazarene, but 2 defenders back to go against the 1, Josiah Wieland. Less than 4 to go in the first overtime. Golden goal situation. It would be our first goal of the night for either side. Johnson walks forward and will throw it in with less than 4 to go here in this first overtime. Into the box. Headed on towards the line, but done right there for the snag. The keeper for MVNU. Cradles it like the bag of candy that most kids are getting tonight on this Halloween Eve. Then he hits one just a mile in the air, barely will get to midfield. Lands back down to the turf and takes a big Mount Vernon Nazarene bounce up the near sideline. McBride comes back. One touch to get away from one defender, slips it on through to Rader. He'll maneuver away from pressure. Curl one to the near side. McBride trying to get behind Orecchio, who cuts him off twice. Then a pass to the left edge of the box. Rivas will sky it. Maloney will let Rader kill it down near the near sideline. Back heel kick, deflected, and Maloney still gets it. He'll drill this one to the top of the area. Vanderkolk over his head. He races after it. Won't get there before the keeper Dunn scoops it up and then falls down to his knees in a praying stance. Almost 2.5 minutes remaining here in this first overtime. Taylor with the advantage in possession here to start. Diaz up the field to Drost. Sulaco marks him, trying to find the trailing Kasperic, stolen away by Alberghetti, cleared away by Noah Rodman. This one popped into the air. Whelan gets it back for Taylor just inside midfield, trying to shake away from Drost, or Demas, excuse me. Now to Lynn at midfield. He'll send it in deep, too far for McBride. Rivas heads it away. Rader trying to push it forward, back to McBride. Off of his chest, into the air. Taylor looks for a high kick that won't come. Whelan back to McBride, trying to get away in the middle, trying to work it over to Rader, who snags the loose ball away in traffic and then stolen over and taken away by Kasperic of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Davis near sideline, across midfield. Kasperic darts back to the defensive half, with Lynn watching his every move. Kasperic can really scoot. His long pass finds Davis on the near sideline. Maloney marks him. Kasperic moving in, trying to find the trailing Kasperic. Davis to Kasperic, stolen away, held in here by Orecchio. Trying to move it in, cleared out by Alberghetti right towards the Mount Vernon Nazarene bench with 80 seconds remaining in the first overtime. And Sammy Atkins comes in for MVNU to replace one of the captains, Davis. That's Connor Davis, number 9. 66 seconds remaining in the first overtime. First time in a long while Mount Vernon Nazarene has had the ball in their attacking half. Maloney kicks it away with less than a minute to go in overtime number 1. Atkins wanting to turn to the end line. Maloney trying to cut him off, and then Atkins loses his footing and falls face first to the end line. That ball goes out, and Williams will have a goal kick here with 38 seconds left in the first OT. Unless Taylor can get one more push here with less than 30 seconds left in the first OT, we look to be destined for a second overtime session. Rader heads it on. Whelan heading it forward. And McBride, just before he could get there, it was Rivas to drive it deep. It'll bounce multiple times out. And with less than 10 seconds left, Maloney will just jog this one out. He'll throw it in right to Rader in the corner, and we are heading to a second overtime. Scoreless through 100 minutes here from Turner Stadium. This is the Crossroads League Tournament quarterfinal matchup. The 4C Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene scoreless after 100 minutes of play here from Upland, Indiana. We will be right back. So one quarterfinal match has already gone to PKs. The Indiana Wesleyan Grace quarterfinal match went to 13 rounds, and Indiana Wesleyan finally won 11-10 on those penalty kicks. There's Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene destined to that. We have 10 minutes separating us from PK fun here tonight. Taylor had the better opportunities there in our first overtime session. The two teams switch sides, and Taylor now will shoot on the goal to our right. Mount Vernon Nazarene to shoot on the goal to our left. A quick start here by the Trojans. Whelan to Rader. Little toe knock off to Whelan. His pass deflected away by Kasperick. Rodman, the big fella, stepping in front, trying to weave through smaller men, and is stolen away by Mount Vernon Nazarene. So there's already been one upset tonight. As Iwu had to go on the road, they knock off Grace. Diaz heading it forward. Johnson, a little bump from behind. Now he leaps and heads it down to Lynn. To the middle and Rader. A little dump back to Alberghetti. And now Rodman. He'll send it back into the box, and his keeper Williams, who gives it back to Rodman. Right footing it forward. James McBride cutting in, bouncing his away from Orecchio. McBride trying to get to it. Getting a piece of it was Orecchio, and off to Rivas, who skies it back across midfield. Lynn to Sulaco in the middle. He'll send this one in deep and let McBride go chase after it. To the end line. He'll be last touched by Mount Vernon Nazarene. Here comes a corner for Taylor, their 8th one of the night. Two Mount Vernon Nazarene defenders there. Almost 90 seconds. Just past 90 seconds into the second OT. James McBride, Jeremiah Rader stand over it. It'll come into the right of the keeper, Joshua Dunn, on the goal to our right. Left hand in the air from Rader, right foot into the ball, an in-swinger. Headed away by Atkins of Mount Vernon Nazarene. Holding it is Maloney. And right before he let the shot go, he's called for the foul. Or a handball, excuse me. So a handball to call. And this one all the way to the near side, almost losing it, was Bamaruna. Now he's able to slip away from Gilliam. Those two have had their run-ins throughout the night, and MVNU works it up to the near side, and Davis. Help comes from Johnson. Davis in the middle, trying to curl it. The West one will sail over the crossbar and out of play. Second shot from Connor Davis tonight, the 7th one overall for Mount Vernon Nazarene. They had 5 in the first half, and then they had 3 on goal here in the second half after having none in the opening 45 minutes. 3 minutes in to overtime number 2. Zeros on the board where it counts from either side. If we are still deadlocked after this, we head to penalty kicks. Gilliam trying to turn the corner, kicked away by Bawaruna. And Andrew Johnson, one of the tri-captains for Taylor, will throw it in down on the near sideline. Left-handed in the air, Johnson approaches. He'll fling it into the box over Whelan's head. Deflected away right to Diaz of Mount Vernon Nazarene by one of his teammates. His clearance up to the center circle, Sulaco. Let it roll on back and then give it off to Maloney left side. Maloney carries to the middle. Whelan, a back heel kick on, blocked by the defender Samuel Demas. Rene Diaz, Gilliam on his back. Diaz to the middle and Drost. Sprinting up is Orecchio, right side, he'll fill the space. McBride marking him as Orecchio maneuvers to his left. Trying to shake away from McBride as he goes back to his right. McBride puts that foot in there, steps it away, then sidesteps it over to Maloney. His big pass blocked, then Sulaco uses that forehead to drive it up near midfield. Whelan steals it, and back to the defensive half momentarily in Cole Gilliam. To the middle and Rader. Back to Gilliam near side. Cole has the trailing Johnson. who's cutting behind him, and the pass was blocked by Davis. Diaz can't give it back to him, and it rolls to the feet of Alberghetti on the near sideline. Lynn with space at midfield. Could not get away from Diaz. It's deflected right to Kasparek. Filling in is Sammy Atkins, trailing is Drost. Up the left side, almost halfway into the second overtime. Diaz, left edge of the area, centering ball all the way to the backside, and that one sails over the goal by Atkins. That ball gained speed as it went to the backside of the box. Then Atkins sent that one high over the crossbar. Less than 5 to go here in the second overtime. Still scoreless between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Down for Taylor.
Vanderkolk, the first sub to come on here of the second overtime. He replaces Cole Gilliam. As we have less than 4.5 minutes remaining in double OT. Diaz knocks it down off to Barayuna. Roldan steps across the midfield stripe, then back to Drost on the near side. He right foots one forward. Rodman there, got his foot on it as he cut in front of Atkins. Kasparek hot on the heels of Andrew Johnson. He sends it in deep over the head of Wieland. Cutting it back as Rivas circles away from the pestering Josiah Wieland. Diaz up the near side to Barayuna. Back to Diaz, left side. Left footing one forward. Salako throws his head in front. Drost will hold it in. Long shot from the middle of the field. This one sails wide. Right takes a hard right-hand turn towards the far sideline. This will get out of here for a Taylor throw-in. As Drost tried to tee one up from the middle of the field, it took a hard right-hand turn right when it left his foot. .320 and counting. Make it about 3:25, I should say, here in double OT. Raider trip near midfield. The Taylor fans scream for a foul, and they get one. Raider taken down from behind. Apologies come from Roldan, who's the one who took him down. 13th foul against Mount Vernon Nazarene tonight, as Raider will adjust the sock on his right leg. Less than 3 to go here in double OT with no score between Taylor and MVNU. A golden goal situation as we're less than 3 minutes away from PKs here tonight. Raider 7 yards inside midfield. Asking if Drost, who stands in front of him for MVNU, is too close. Raider will play it in. Right foot blocked down by Drost. Right back to Raider. To the middle and Alberghetti. Kasparek comes to clasp on him. Alberghetti volleying it in. Wieland back. Out jumping him is Dunn as Wieland didn't even leap for it. A quick reset as Dunn uncorks one to the near sideline with almost 2 to go in the second overtime. Diaz running. Up the field it comes to Kasparek. Johnson will mark him. Kasparek running through tackles, poked away by Lynn. Diaz's centering ball deflected high in the air. Alberghetti heads it on a line up near midfield. Wieland got his hair on it. And it's sent down by Rivas of MVNU with less than 2 to go in double OT. Centering ball to the middle. Knocked away by Rodman of Taylor. Now to McBride from Alberghetti. To the middle and Raider with men chasing him down. That's Kasparek. Far past of James McBride. McBride with Orecchio marking him. Here's Wieland in the left. Wieland, long shot, easily snagged by Dunn. His 4th save of the night. Second shot by Josiah Wieland. Taylor 6 shots overall, 4 have been on goal. Out of bounds, lost by Diaz as he's frustrated with himself on the near sideline and then runs his hand through his hair. Fantastic haircut from Diaz. Johnson throws it in. Wieland tried to touch it down to his right or left and is sent away by MVNU with almost a minute remaining in double OT. Long pass all the way up to Raider in the middle. Now Wieland just outside the box. Lays it on back to Vanderkolk. He passes it to the middle where only blue jerseys are there. Less than a minute to go in double OT. Johnson high in the air towards the top of the box. Raider measuring, out jumped by the taller Rivas. Wieland skies and is knocked down right to the feet of Kasparek for MVNU. Big first touch across midfield. Second big touch taken away by Johnson with 40 seconds and counting here in double OT. Barayuna steps across midfield, gets away from Vanderkolk. Pinpoint pass. Kasparek then to Drost, who just missed from long range a minute ago. Passes up the shot with 30 seconds left to go in double OT. McBride pokes it away, back up near midfield. MVNU retreats. And Drost will fake a pass to his left, spin around, and then back to the defensive half in Rivas. Less than 20 seconds to go in double OT. Roldan sends it in, headed away by Johnson of Taylor. Raider a back heel kick into space. Wheeland gets to it with 9, with 8, with 6. Dribbling in, taken away. And that will send us to penalty kicks. Barayuna falls down to his knees. He is a tired fella. Guys all over the field tired. And now we head to penalty kicks. A best-of-5 situation. The winner moves on to the semifinals on Saturday. The loser's season will come to a close. We'll be back with penalty kicks when we come back here on the Trojan Sports Network. So here we go. Penalty kicks to decide who goes on to the semifinals. Everyone will be shooting on the goal to our left. Joshua Dunn, the keeper for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Luke Williams, the keeper for Taylor. On the year, the Trojans as a team 1 for 1 on penalty kicks. That was Jeremiah Rader's PK last week here against Mount Vernon Nazarene. On the year for the Cougars, they are 5 for 6. Their opponents are 4 for 6. And Taylor opponents 2 for 2 on PKs to start. Taylor will be the first one to go. And it'll be Andrew Johnson, one of the tri-captains, to take it first for TU. Best of 5, and then it might get a little crazy like Iwu and Grace just did. Everybody crowding in the bleachers on both sides of the field to our left. Johnson puts the ball on the dot. Dunn claps his hands and awaits the PK from Andrew Johnson, the first shooter for the Trojans. And Johnson puts it in. Taylor scores on the opening PK try from one of their tri-captains, Andrew Johnson. Following will be Tim Kasparek. Luke Williams in the goal. Kasparek 2 for 3 on PKs this season. If you stop one of those first couple shots, it just opens up everything for your team. Kasparek, one of the top goal scorers for MVNU. He's got the ball on the dot, arms extended for Williams. Shot off the post! Off the post! And Taylor up 1-0 after the first round of PKs as Kasparek went to his left and he rattles it off the near side post. The Trojans went through a PK drill at the end of practice on Monday on this very goal. They're up 1-0 after the first round. Johnson knocked in his for Taylor. Kasparek rattled it off the near side post. Here's the freshman Clay Vanderkolk trying to put Taylor up 2-0. He approaches the ball. It's in on the right side and Taylor up 2-0. Johnson and Vanderkolk both score. It'll be number 9, Connor Davis, the second shooter for Mount Vernon Nazarene. He's a perfect 3 for 3 on penalty kicks this season. And then after this, no one else has taken a PK yet this year for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Kasparek missed on the left side post. Davis approaches, in and it's stopped! Luke Williams stones it cold, and then he gets up and looks like the baddest man in the joint! Luke Williams pats that heart like the bad man that he is. And it's 2-0 Taylor as Williams just slowly walks menacingly to the far side of the field. So both of the first 2 men going with PKs for Taylor have gone to the right and scored. Both men for MVNU have gone left and missed on a post and a save. Jeremiah Rader, the only man to take a PK for Taylor in the regular season, approaches, and he beats Dunn low, and Taylor up 3-0. And this could end it here if Mount Vernon Nazarene doesn't score. Johnson, Vanderkolk, Rader, all to the right side, and now here comes Rene Diaz as Rader scores to put Taylor up 3-0. The first 2 shots by Mount Vernon Nazarene, Kasparek missed it off the left side post. Davis had his shot stopped by Williams. And now Diaz will try to keep things going here for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Williams hops up and down. Diaz looks to be taking this one with the left foot. Taking his time. Now approaches. Shoots. Stopped by Williams again! And that ends it! Here come the students onto the field as Williams stops Diaz cold, and he stops the last 2 shots, and Taylor wins 3-0 on penalty kicks, and Luke Williams saves the day for Taylor as they will move on to the semifinals on Saturday afternoon. Look at this scene down on the Turner Stadium turf. There's purple smoke going into the air. Taylor goes 3 for 3 on PKs. Kasperick missed on the post. And then it was Davis and Diaz both stopped by Luke Williams. And Taylor advances to the Crossroads League Tournament semifinals thanks to 2 stellar saves by Luke Williams. And now Andrew Johnson has picked up one of those smoke bombs, just holding it in the air, just dragging purple smoke behind him. What a scene here tonight. As now the Trojans come over, they will shake hands with the Mount Vernon Nazarene players. But Luke Williams, whew, he made 3 saves in regulation. He makes 2 saves on PKs. And Taylor wins tonight on PKs 3-0, and they're on to the semifinals. What a fantastic, fantastic soccer match here tonight. We've got to get down there and do some interviews. We're going to talk to Luke Williams. We're going to talk to Gary Ross. What a win tonight by the 4th-seeded Taylor Trojans. They're on to the semifinals coming up on Saturday. Special thanks to Leah, our camera operator tonight. We thank you folks for tuning in here as well tonight. Taylor wins on PKs 3-0 after double overtime. They're on to the semifinals on Saturday against the winner of the Spring Arbor and Marion match tonight. That concludes our coverage here of Taylor men's soccer tonight here on the Trojan Sports Network. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoy bringing it to you here tonight. Taylor on to the semifinals. After a 0-0 tie in regulation and double overtimes, the Trojans win 3-0 on PKs, with Luke Williams stopping the last 2 shots from Mount Vernon Nazarene tonight. Congratulations to the Taylor men's soccer team. They are on to the Crossroads League Tournament semifinals. This is our final men's soccer broadcast of the year. We thank you folks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the coverage as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. And if we don't talk to you then, we'll talk to you when men's soccer returns to the field in the fall of 2019. We hope we're back here, hopefully on Saturday, and maybe even next Saturday for a championship match as well. But the Trojans on to the semifinals after winning 3-0 in PKs tonight. This has been a presentation of Taylor men's soccer here on the Trojan Sports Network. Good night for now from Upland, Indiana.